they're essentially being drafted back-to-back this year, okay? Mm-hmm. Mike Evans, wide receiver 14. Chris Godwin, wide receiver 18. They're both being drafted at both ends of the third round. Zach, as always, draft one, pass one. Who will you have more stock of this year?
I will have more stock of Chris Godwin this year.
Okay.
But I like both of these guys.
Yes.
I've said this before. Tom Brady is my quarterback 6 on the year. I think he's going to have an amazing year, which means these guys are both going to be very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to know, as of right now, because we do community mock drafts, live streams, mock drafts on our channel, and I haven't seen Chris Godwin or Mike Evans go in the 4th round. I've only seen them go in the 5th round. So if that continues throughout the offseason, those are both big value picks. Let me tell you why it's Chris Godwin.
Okay.
First, props to Mike Evans. Okay, Mike Evans has had an amazing fantasy career.
Yes.
In his 7-year career, he's had 1,000+ yards every year. Okay, and he's averaged under 9 touchdowns per season. That's insane. 1,000 yards per year and just under 9 touchdowns per year. Let's give him props.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of the season, you could definitely see Mike Evans and Tom Brady build some chemistry, and it looked nice. But the reason I'm choosing Godwin missed 4 games, okay? And Mike Evans, in my opinion, should have had a better year. He didn't have his biggest competition, Chris Godwin, on the field for 4 games.
Right.
If it wasn't for that one game where he put up 40+ points, I think it was week 16 or 17, I can't remember, he wouldn't have finished top 15. If the roles were reversed, I have no doubt that Chris Godwin would have gone off every game, been a target monster. Okay. The other reason is Mike Evans had 13 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
That's really hard to repeat. And those touchdowns really helped him reach the fantasy relevancy that he had last year. You can't really predict touchdowns. Now, can I tell you that Mike Evans is going to have touchdowns? Well, yeah. The dude's like 6'5", 240 pounds, right? He's going to have touchdowns, but I don't think he reaches that 13 touchdown peak again this year. But most importantly, when does it count the most? When does football count the most? In the playoffs.
Okay. I was baffled. I was like, I don't know all the time.
Let's look at the playoffs. Last year, Tom Brady in the playoffs. Who did he trust more when it mattered the most? In the playoffs, Chris Godwin, 32 targets. Mike Evans, 22 targets. When it mattered the most, and both guys were healthy, it was Godwin.
Yeah.
It was Godwin. And by the way, this is a guy who's 25 years old, about to enter his prime, missed 4 games, and still had 7 touchdowns. It's got to be Chris Godwin for me. And the fact that I can get him after Mike Evans, I'm cheering all the way home.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It was Chris Godwin for me. I think one huge thing that really blew my mind when I was looking at this, Chris Godwin averaged more points and more targets, even though he missed 4 games.
Yeah.
So I thought that was huge, and it's clear that Tom likes to target, the slot receiver as well. Look at Wes Welker and look at Julian Edelman, those guys, and how great they did. Chris Godwin, not saying that he's those guys. I think he's definitely better than those guys in my personal opinion. But that's where he plays in that position in the slot. Tom, quick slants. Godwin, done.
Especially at this point in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Who can I rely on?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going all for it. If Godwin stays healthy, there's no doubt about it. He can finish top 10, in my personal opinion, with Tom Brady in 2021.
It feels like in mock drafts, these guys flip-flop, though. I know the ADP says that Godwin goes later, but I feel like in every mock draft, they flip-flop, depending on who goes first. I think they're both going to be really good values. So I don't want to disrespect Mike Evans. I still think Mike Evans is going to have a great, great year. The other thing that concerns me a little bit is the yards per game that Mike Evans had this year. So in 2019, Mike Evans averaged 89 yards per game. In 2018, Mike Evans averaged 96 yards per game.
Okay.
But in 2020, it was 63 yards per game. So that is a trend you need to be slightly worried about. I think if they can stay as efficient as they have been, Mike Evans will still be a great pick. But that's the question that we need to ask, right? Yeah. Can they stay as efficient as they were last year?
Correct.
In Dynasty, quickly, are we still on the same pathway here. It's
there's no doubt
Godwin.
about it. Yeah, it's Chris Godwin. He's a younger guy. Even if he doesn't get re-signed here, he's 25. Yeah. He's surely going to sign a 3-year contract somewhere else if he doesn't stay with Tampa. I see him being a wide receiver 1 in any other team.
Agreed.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos,
watch
now,
it.
You can also subscribe
right now
if you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.